Recently on the Wayspotters podcast, you heard Mr. Chris say,
anything that gets you kind of maybe off the beaten path, makes you go somewhere that you normally wouldn't. And that's the whole point of this, the whole database is to get you to go look at places, go explore and interact with your community that you in a way that you might not know before, right? Hello, agents, scouts, trainers, pilots, hunters, eighth wallers, and our beloved explorers and wayfinders. Welcome to episode 196 of the Wayspotters podcast, a podcast dedicated to helping you become a better wayfinder. Wayspotters is brought to you by the good people at the Pokemon Professor Network. Today is Thursday, October 16th, and with me, as always, is Jamal. How is it going, my friend?
Hello there, Chris. How are you?
I'm wonderful. It's almost the weekend. One more day of lacrosse, and then we're off for months. Oh, it's gonna be great. So nice.
It is. I wanted to shout you out a little bit. It's the opening week of NHL hockey.
It is,
and I am going to make a concerted effort this season to be a better hockey fan.
Ooh, nice.
I'm going to support the local team, the Carolina Hurricanes. I doubt I'll get up to a game because they were in Raleigh, about 3 hours away. But
right.
Rod Brindamore, who is a fiery competitor, was a fiery player, is the coach of the Hurricanes, and he has a lot of bravado, and he's good for like big time quotes.
Yes.
In the papers and
yes,
stuff. So I'm going to try to ingratiate myself. There's my big word early on. Try to ingratiate myself into the Caniacs, as they call them. For the Hurricanes, they call them the Caniacs.
Interesting.
Didn't know if you knew that or not.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
So here's a little bit. Okay, go ahead. No, keep going.
Okay. No. Go ahead.
Here's a little bit of hockey information that you might not know, considering you're just kind of getting back into it. Montreal and Carolina don't like each other.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh, these two fan bases.
I didn't know that was a rivalry.
Each other. So,
I'm
going to give you the backstory, and we're going to go sports podcast here for a second because I need to talk about this. So bear with me, Wayfinders. We will get to your stuff in a second. Years ago, so in the NHL, you have free agents and then restricted free agents, right? So a restricted free agent, anybody in the NHL can offer that person a contract, right? But the team that they play for has the ability to match that contract and to sign the player, right?
Right.
Years ago, Carolina had a player that was in heated negotiations with the team, right? Couldn't get to a contract. He was a restricted free agent. So Montreal stepped in and was like, hey, here's a bunch of money. We want you to come play for us. And so he signs the contract. Then Carolina's like, F you, and they signed him. So now he plays for them, right? And he was just like, hey, I wasn't really going to play for Montreal. It was just a negotiation tactic. So then the fan bases are fighting, right? So then couple years ago, Montreal had a player that was a restricted free agent, and Carolina was like, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to make you spend all this money, because the teams use it as a tactic. They're like, I'm going to offer this guy like $8 million a year, and I know the team that he played for really can't afford it, so either they're going to sign him and screw themselves on the salary cap, or we're going to get a good player, right? So they offered this kid a bunch of money, and Montreal's like, take him. We don't want him. Go ahead. See you later. So, yeah, there's a lot of...
I did not know that. Yes. Okay. All right.
I think it was...
All right. That's your sport podcast of the day, people. Oh, no, that does sound familiar. That name sounds familiar to me. Yes. Yeah. Nice.
I think it was Sebastian Aho. And he's a really good player, and I'm really sad that Montreal didn't pick him up when they could have, but it is what it is.
Right.
Montreal's
really had enough success, so...
in a lot of fan bases, so get used to kind of, if you tell people that you're a Hurricanes fan, to get some dirty looks. Yeah,
that's so weird. Okay, that's good to know. That's good to know. So I moved to Charlotte, I think the year after they won the cup. I think that was the year they won the cup in 06, right? 05, 06.
I believe it was. Yeah.
Yeah, and I moved to Charlotte in '07, and when I moved here, the Charlotte Checkers were the AAA or the whatever the level is, right below them, the farm team, and
Right.
then most recently, the Charlotte Checkers are now the farm team of the Florida Panthers.
Right.
So, and we were in the Calder Cup last year, so I'm getting back into this hockey thing and all that. So yeah. Anyhow, we're not here to talk about hockey. We're here to talk about Wayfarer. So I'll let you take it away.
Let's jump into the news, because I'm going to rant about the news too.
And now, the latest Niantic spatial and Scopely news from the Wayspotters podcast, presented by the Pokemon Professor Network.
Tino finally made a post about the test space spots the Wayfarer team has put in France, Italy, and Spain. I'm going to read most of this post, because I think we got a lot of people who listen to the show and watch the show who aren't necessarily on the forums, so I like to share this information with our folks. So, as you're aware, our current Wayfarer system relies on user-submitted points of interest once a user reaches eligibility. More on that in a second. This can be a challenge for players in areas with very few Pokéstops and gyms. As an addition to our current system, and to empower these trainers, we're adding Niantic-generated Pokéstops in those areas to help them level up faster and become Wayfarer eligible sooner, and start nominating even more locations in their area for an even richer game experience. That all sounds fantastic. It's very
That sounds
well
amazing.
worded.
I don't know what the problem is right there.
Hold on.
Hold my beer.
Key details of the experiment. It's an experiment, so we'll kind of withhold most of our judgment here. Niantic generated Pokestops at pre-selected street corners and bus stops. It's France, Italy, and Spain. These locations will have clear, easy-to-spot titles like street corner at street name A and street name B and bus stop name. Each location will have a distinctive Niantic-generated Wayspot photo. It's like a Wayfarer logo, circles and stuff. It's very distinctive. Like you when you click on it, you'll know exactly that it's not from Wayfarer, right?
Right. Yep.
We'll get there. For the time being, we won't be accepting any edits on these Wayspots. If you have feedback about the title, image, and or description from any of our Wayspots, please share them with us in the forum, and our team will review. If you wish to report them, you'll still be able to do so if necessary. So you can report them for removal, but you can edit them. Your edit's going to be auto-rejected.
Gotcha.
Some of them are getting through. If you get them in your reviews, skip them. The team has asked that you skip them, because that come up in one of the questions. Well, since we won't be accepting any edits this time, they'll be auto-rejected. Are all street corners now eligible? No. Wayspot nominations by Wayfinders still need to comply with Wayfarer criteria. Niantic-generated Wayspots like these are meant to address gameplay gaps in areas that need them. So this shuts down that whole thread that we talked about a couple weeks ago. With that one guy was like, you're doing it, so I can do it. Be like, no, Wayfarer and like the Pogo map is a lot of do what I say, not what I do. You know what I mean?
Now remember, Chris, what I said, like leading up to the Scopely takeover, that I predicted, or I hoped, well, maybe not hoped, that they could just arbitrarily put a Wayspot in each cell. Remember when I said that?
You did, yep.
I had no idea about the street corners or the bus stop, but I said, hey, it's their map. We're the curators of it, but they could just go to a rural area and just drop a POI there, and it appears they're doing that.
Yes.
Not how I predicted it, but they're doing it. Continue.
Close enough, right? I think if we had to put some actual thought into it, we would have come up with this on our own, right? Or you would have come up with this.
Yeah, we're pretty good at this. We're pretty good at this.
Can you nominate street corners in these test countries? No. It does, although it does say no, not at this stage. So yeah, I don't like where that's going. If I report these, will the submitter be warned? Nobody's submitting these that put on Niantic, so whatever. What are the next steps? As always, we'll be monitoring key metrics over the coming months to gauge the success of this experiment. I assume that means that they'll get an email that says how many times people spun their Pokestop. The Wayfarer team's gonna get their own email.
Yes. Yes.
I still don't have mine, by the way. This
You don't have it?
I don't.
That's wild.
Yeah, I'm giving up on my the October one or September one, whatever. This includes your feedback. We welcome your thoughts on these efforts, whether you are directly affected regions or not. We are excited about the potential this experiment holds to bring even more fun and accessibility to players in underserved areas. Stay tuned for more updates. And then there's a discussion thread where people are kind of asking questions and stuff. So we'll talk about more of this later. I don't want to bury the lead too much. Second thing, the level rebalance for Pogo is out. It's buggy. I saw apparently somebody was level 77, which is physically impossible, but whatever. They didn't change anything level wise for access to Wayfarer, so it is now easier for Pogo players to get access to Wayfarer. So
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I have thoughts on that too, but that's for a different time. That's all I got for the news. I do want to open this show with a reply to some feedback that we got from some folks on something we said last week, specifically our comments about encouraging newer folks to lurk on the forums rather than post. It might have come across as disparaging. We are not disparaging the mods or the ambos when we say that sometimes people take a beating on the forums. It's just the nature of forums, right? There's some loud voices on the forums, and a couple of those loud voices, some of those loud voices have ambassador tags. And face facts, some are not very tactful when dealing with new posters or new members, right? And like, it's one thing if you're not very tactful with someone who's been on the forums for 2 years. It's another thing to not be tactful with the little blue flag. It's like, hey, this is the first time that someone has posted. And I get it. 95% of the people who respond to those people are just like, hey, welcome to the forum. Glad you're here. We are very welcoming. And then they'll be very nice. Because sometimes these first-time posters are like, why did my garbage can get denied? Right?
Right.
People let them down easy. That's what you need to do with new people. Let them down easy. I know 3 people here locally who made one post, got shit on by a regular, and have never gone back. A couple of ambassadors can be very standoffish and frankly a little bit rude. Right? And again, not the majority. The minority is typically the loud voice, right? You see that in Pogo. People on Twitter are like the 1%, the 2%, right? The vast majority of ambassadors are amazing. They're informative, kind, supportive, and excellent representatives of the Wayfarer program and its community. We talk regularly with a handful of them. Some of them are in our Discord, right? We're friends with these people. We've hung out with these people.
Yes.
Right? Doesn't change.
Chilled with them at GoFest.
Yeah, we've chilled with them at GoFest, right? And we love the thankless work that they do, because these ambassadors are really, they do thankless work, right? But I think sometimes we get ambassadors who are towards the end of their terms start to get a little bit grumpy. You know what I mean? Like, doesn't it's
hey, I have been on the blunt end of that grumpiness.
Yeah, me too. Oh, me too.
Yeah.
Recently. Very recently. Right. We'll talk about that later.
Yes.
But like, sometimes it's best for some folks if they just lurk for a bit, right? Get a feel for the forums. Get a feel for who the regulars are. Get a feel for how people respond to posts. That way, if they make a post and they see person A respond very nice and kindly, and then they see person B respond super snarky, they can go, well, I've seen that person respond to a bunch of things, and that's just how they are. I'm going to ignore it. Right?
They don't take it personal.
They don't take it personally. But like, if you go in there and you make a post and the thing comes up and you get a snarky ass response from, and then the tag says regular on it, it'd be like, oh, if that's a regular, I'm out of here. Forget this.
Right.
I'm out. And I literally 3 people. Like, I've tried to convince them to come back, and they're like, no, I'm not doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I got one of them to join again, but they're like, I'll never make another post again. but I will stay there for the
Right.
news. So then I text them
Now,
every time there's a news post, and they go and read it. Right?
now, Chris, if you and I could share some of the private messages people send us, I think people listening to the podcast
Yeah.
would be like, "Oh, that's how people feel."
Mhm.
But I mean, Chris and I get the most random posts from the most random people in this wonderful community. Some of them we have to correct them. They think that we're under NDA and Niantic tells us stuff. Niantic doesn't tell us anything. We get no insider information at all. We might even be the last ones to know. We just have a place that we can kind of talk about it and discuss it. But if we could share some of the things that people are like, hey, this is what happened. And I'm kind of like, that doesn't feel good. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah.
Or hey, you might want to phrase something this way, or you might want to do it that way. Or if you want opinions on your memorial bench, bring them to our Discord and we'll talk about it there as opposed to on the forums. Then you get your language down and go on the forums. Because like you said, Chris, there are some wonderful people on the forums. Moderating that forum is a thankless job. It's a 24-hour job. There's people all over the globe posting at all times, but it's like anywhere else. You have a restaurant that has one bad server and you sit in their section and you will tell everybody, don't go to that restaurant. They've got terrible service. And everyone else is like, I go there all the time and it's great. Oh, it's just Joe. Joe's the bad apple. And some people come across, Joe, and they're like, I don't want to sit in that section, or I'll try to avoid Joe. But for the most part, the forum is a great place. We're lucky that we have the forums as Wayfarers as opposed to the other games. But everything you said, I back you and I stand behind it 100%.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, and I understand that the way that kind of we worded stuff last week might have been a little bit harsh.
Yeah.
I think so. That wasn't our intention. I wanted to kind of clear the air.
Yeah. And I know there are a couple people that we talked to that kind of felt personally offended, and I apologize on that.
Yep.
I'm the guy who shoot my mouth off a lot. Sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm wrong. But if I'm wrong, I will come out and say, hey, you know what? I screwed up. I shouldn't have said that. So my goal with that whole conversation last week was not to offend anybody, especially people who are doing who's doing Arceus's work.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at the same time, we got to be honest with our opinions. Like I said, we're not paid by Niantic or Scopely. We're not paid by anybody. We do this out of our own pockets, so we're going to give our own opinions. Nobody's influencing our opinions. We're going to say what we mean. And if I come off too strong sometimes, sorry.
Yep. I mean, and here's the thing, right? Like, we've sat down with people from the Wayfarer team, people from Niantic, and we have on a couple of occasions flat out asked them if we should kind of tone down some of the things that we talk about, and they're like, no, absolutely not. Do not change anything that you're doing, because we think it's great.
Correct.
It's great for the community. It's great for kind of Wayfarer. It's great for everything.
Yep.
So, I mean, sometimes we hurt people's feelings. We have made people upset sometimes.
Yep.
But this is our show. We're gonna talk about the things on our show.
And if you look at creators in the Pokemon Go space, there's YouTube creators that just tick everybody off, and people that are on Twitch that tick everybody off. And there's people on there that Niantic is literally flying around the globe that go on their platform and blast Niantic.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And then 2 months later, Niantic is putting them on a plane. So, and we're not in that boat. We're not under NDA. We don't get information from them. Everything that you hear on these airwaves is stuff that you and I have researched, and we're giving our own opinion. We're on nobody's payroll. Not even Papa Ken. We're not even under his credit card. You know what I mean? So
exactly. Yeah.
I mean, what you're getting is just hardcore. What you're getting. So that's where it is.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And that's kind of straight shooters. But like you said, if we go too far, people call us out. We're man enough to say, yep, maybe we went a little bit too far.
If I go too far, I'll walk it back. You know what I mean? I try to not go that far to walk it back, but sometimes I just feel like letting my proverbial hair down You know, because there's still some things, Chris, that we haven't talked about.
Yes.
That you and I talk about when we're not recording. That
Yes.
third rail we haven't talked about. There's
Yes.
a lot of things that are out there that we just haven't said the name.
Yep.
We haven't talked about the action, and we probably won't.
And yeah, and there's respect that we have for the Wayfarer team, and then there's respect that we have for
Absolutely
Wayfarer ambassadors who we have had that discussion with, and they've looked us in the eye and said, you should probably not talk about this. And we go,
yep.
Okay, I respect your opinion enough,
and
that we're not going to do that, right?
And there's 4 or 5 things that we probably will never discuss on the show.
100%.
4, I'm trying to think, at least 4, maybe
at
5,
least 4
that we'll probably never discuss on the show. Yeah.
Yep. I do have one thing that the last couple of YouTubes, I've gotten a lot of comments on them. I can't read them all. There's just so many. I've done my best to reply to all of them. Kruner said that he's happy to have us back on YouTube, so thank you for that. Apparently we've been pronouncing his name wrong. Hopefully I got it closer this time. He did say that he thinks my German gets better every time, so I thank him for that. Sushi Slayer commented that he would like a full tutorial on how to install the plugins, so I'm going to do that. I know we have that one with Testo where we kind of went through what they all were, but I think I'm going to delete them all off my account and then screen record myself
and redo it,
talking through redoing it all, so that we can kind of put that on the YouTube.
Yeah.
So that is coming.
I like that.
I don't want to say soon, because soon. Give me some time. I'll put it up. Right.
Yeah.
Lacrosse is ending soon. I'll have some time.
There you go.
All right, let's jump into topic number 1.
Get ready for topic number 1.
So, by the time you're listening to this, the question submissions for the AMA are now closed, and there will be about a day and a half left to vote on the questions that you want answered, provided you're listening on Sunday, because voting closes at 1 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time on October 20th. So we're recording this on Thursday. October 20th is Monday. So if you're listening to this Sunday morning, you've got until about 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock Eastern on Monday to vote. It's like 15 or 20 votes on some of these questions, too. It's great. I love the way that
one of mine has 15 votes on it.
Nice. Perfect. I voted for yours, too.
Yeah.
So,
sweet. I voted for yours also.
Nice. Beautiful. I love the way that they've done this. They created a whole topic. You could go, and then no one could reply for a year. Great. Fantastic. Love it.
Fantastic.
They've locked it down. People can't answer themselves, because what happens is people post the AMA questions, and then there's like whole arguments and debates about what the questions, and then it's like, no, they're not asking you. They're asking Niantic. They're asking the Wayfarer team. All respect to the ambassadors, don't care if you're an ambassador. I don't want to hear your answer. I want the Wayfarer team.
I want to hear the Wayfarer team.
Right? And if they want to get the ambassadors involved in answering the questions, which I'm sure that they will, they can collectively as a group, moderated by Niantic, answer the questions in a concise, well thought out way as a group. Right? Like, I don't want individuals' opinions on this, which is kind of funny, because we're going to go through the questions and give our individual opinions on this, but we're not doing it on the forums. So I understand the hypocrisy before one of you calls me out on it, because I know somebody will.
Hey, but didn't you say Niantic is do as I say, not as I do? So we're just 100%. Following the lead.
100%. 100%. The one thing I don't like about this is that some people have been quoting the question and then going to the discussion thread and then crapping on ideas. Like, you're an ambassador. Come on. Like, that's crap like that's completely unnecessary. Right? Like, if you're going to take someone's question and go, well, it's stupid. Just going to get abused, stupid. Like, really? Like, really?
Yeah. Let Niantic have their say. Let Niantic have their say.
If they don't want to do it, fine. But, like, I have had several people in our Discord, because I brought it up. Funny enough, we were talking about in our private chat with Ken and the other podcast creators on the network, we were talking about that bench in New York. And Ken's like, I really wish we had a way to see stuff that was already nominated and not like through voting yet. And I was like, dude, I had that idea like 2 years ago. And he's like, it's such a great. I'm like, I know it is, but people hate it. People hate it. I don't understand.
Because Ken's like, I'm in New Jersey.
Right.
I don't want to go an hour and a half into the city and it's already nominated.
It's in Central Park. Someone's gonna see it and nominate it, right? Like they might not, because benches aren't technically all that eligible sometimes. Like that one is 100%,
right?
But I'm getting sidetracked. It's like I had a thought and I completely lost it. So maybe I'll.
Oh no! I derailed you.
It happens. It's people have ideas, and there's a lot of good ideas. There's a lot of really good questions, right? So we're gonna kind of go back and forth on these. I asked you to pick out a couple. One of them I already had on my list, so I just assigned that one to you.
Yep.
So I find it funny that was the only one that we both picked. There's a lot there. There's a lot of really good questions. There's a lot of questions that I wouldn't say a lot. There's some questions that I don't think Niantic's really going to have an answer for. Scrawny Meowth posted a question, hey, can we clean up the database? And like I get the thought, because there's a lot of stuff that we as Pogo players can't edit now that Ingress isn't part of this map. Right. That's supposedly coming with the map, right? So I don't know that we're really going to get an answer on that one. So I'm going to go first, and then we'll kind of go back and forth, and then we'll read the question out, or just a blurb about the question, and then we'll kind of talk about it. This is one I've been asking for years, since we went to the thumbs up, thumbs down thing. But this is one. Can we split the rejection reasons not permanent and not distinct? And I love this because I am so tired of people posting on the forums with this, hey, this got rejected because it's not permanent. Here's a picture of it cemented into the ground with bolts and duct tape and welded to metal that's cemented. Right. It's absolutely permanent. And then people are like, it's a garbage can. It didn't get rejected because it's not permanent. It got rejected because it's not distinct.
It's not distinct.
You're focusing on the wrong one of the two. And it happens so often.
All the time. Daily.
And it's
daily.
It's especially bad considering this will come up in one of the other questions. Niantic has basically said if you really want to reject something and you can't find a good enough reason, use not permanent and distinct. I use that rejection reason more often than I use all of the other rejection reasons combined.
Because it's kind of the catch-all.
It is.
Yep.
It is.
It's the catch-all.
Right. So.
And it confuses new people because they're like, what?
Yeah. 100%. Absolutely it does.
All right. So the second one is, can you shed some light on the teased Wayfarer map? That's the question. And this was by MXFF, which is a name that says it's the first time they posted in the community, but that sounds really familiar. But anyhow, the question reads, many of us previously used the IITC mobile for help when it came to sales. And now with that option now unavailable, are we expecting something along the lines of what we had with IITC mobile, with more helpful features? It would be nice to know what kind of features this map would have, as I know what I had with IITC and different plugins. It made it such a beneficial tool as the planner plugin, allowing us to put a pin on the map for remote submissions to memorize a location. So we both picked on that one. And when you asked me to pick the criteria or pick the questions, I didn't look at what you did. I just picked the three, and I'm like, there's going to be at least one we're going to have the same. But this, to me, could be the AMA. Just specific questions about the map. This could be the AMA. But I think the way this person worded it is strategic, and I don't know if they meant to be strategic, and maybe they did, and I'm just being naive about it. But specifically mentioning IITC and cells, Niantic is going to have to be very careful on how they answer this question to avoid cells and to avoid IITC, but still answer the question. And this question is going to get a lot of votes to where they're going to have to answer it. And I'm sure they're going to have some really colorful language picked out that's going to answer the question, but not answer the question. But to me, a Wayfarer map is something that should be its own category aside from the AMA, because it literally is going to decide how we function over the next little while. Like, this map is going to change everything. The way we nominate, the way we review, the way we interact with Wayfarer. Because what if this map comes out and it's got no grid lines to lay over and the ability not to do it? Then you're not going to be able to tell. I mean, this map really is going to dictate the way Wayfarer goes for the next 12 to 18 months. So I'm looking forward to this question, and I'm looking forward to see what they say about it. And then what they don't say about it, I'm ready for the really smart people to figure it out like they did with IITC.
So I didn't put it in the list. I really thought that I did, but I didn't. Somebody else asked if we'd be able to get API access to this map, which is essentially approved backdoor access, so that people could create their own tools to overlay on top of it. I can almost guarantee you the answer is going to be no. Oh man, can you imagine Testone and that handful of people who have created the Wayfarer tools, give them API access?
Yeah. Oh man,
like, imagine the things that they could do. It would be so amazing.
Yes,
because you're right. This map could be a whole AMA on itself. They could have done this AMA and been like, hey, no map questions. Map questions are off limits. And then been like, we're going to do our own map AMA closer to when the map's going to go live, right? Maybe a month out, we're going to do a map AMA. Because there's so many questions about this map that we just don't know. And we'll probably do a whole show speculating on what it's going to look like.
Oh, for sure.
The things that you want to see, how they could do it, right? But, man, it's just, I'm really looking forward to kind of what they say on that, because it's it's going to be one of the highest voted questions. So
for sure,
we'll have to see
for
there.
sure.
Next one was from Cindy Poo. How to record a does not meet criteria vote in review. So this is what we were talking about. Niantic's previous. So this was argued about on the thread of street signs the other day, and I get it. Technically, the tooltip says a location is considered permanent and distinct if, when in the immediate area, the location is visually distinct enough to identify. Super vague. And that's, by definition, street signs are visually distinct enough to identify, right? And then temporary is just, it's permanent, right? So, like, technically, you can't thumbs down that on its face based on the tooltip. Right. According to, but like, it meets all of the other things. It's safe. You technically should be thumbs upping everything, right? But it's generic. And if you look at the rejection criteria, it's literally number one. Like, the first picture on the rejection criteria is a picture of street signs, because they're mass-produced generic. So there was a whole thing when this first thumbs up, thumbs down thing came out, and people were like, you're telling me to go in and ask and answer each question individually, right? Like, I'm not looking at the thing as a whole. I'm looking at every single question individually. And I'm thumbs upping every single one. And now all this crap's going to end up on the map, because technically it meets every single category. Like, what do we do for things that just straight up aren't eligible because you, as a company, as a team, as a collective of overlords for this map, have said, this is not eligible. Street signs, not eligible. Stop signs, not eligible. Use permanent and not distinct. People were like,
And
don't like it?
yeah, and see
Gonna do it.
the ones that like get me are like, and there's a lot of these in Portland where I grew up, because there's a lot of bike paths, and it's like the green and white sign.
Yes.
It's got the bicycle on it,
Yep.
and it's green with the white reflective. And it's like, I get what you're saying with those, but to me, that's like infrastructure. That's like a stop sign. That's like a
Yes.
one-way sign. Like, it's not, while it's technically denoting a bike path is starting, it's not like a trail marker or a bike sign. It's the green sign with the white around it.
Yep.
And if my video editing is doing it right, you're seeing either here or here or here. You're seeing a picture of what I'm talking about. It's like a guy standing next to a bike, and you know what I mean. But it's like that to me is like, it's like a stop sign. It's like infrastructure. But if you're doing true thumbs up, thumbs down, that gets in. And my problem with that, Chris, is not that there's 100,000 of those, because I push back on people that say, well, we shouldn't approve those because then they'll be everywhere. And I'm kind of like, isn't the point of this game to put things on the map? Anyway, that's a whole nother discussion on whether or not, yes, there you go. That's it right there. My point is not that we should be restricting things from the map, but we shouldn't be putting infrastructure on the map. So that's my issue with this, is I see that as infrastructure. Even though it says route begins, I still consider that infrastructure.
100%. I did this as an experiment a few years ago. 2013. So this is, for our audio listeners, this is literally when you were describing the sign, I'm like, I'm pretty sure this, the exact same sign is here. Like, it's the signs that we use here are the signs that you use there. It's green, it's got a white bike on it and a white background. Like, it's probably the same company that makes these signs. And that is like the epitome of mass produced. If they're using it in Charlotte, North Carolina and Oshawa, Ontario, it's right. Yes. So I did this as an experiment.
Exactly.
Thinking, it's a bike route. And this, like, summarily, this went into voting and it was rejected in like a day. And like, people don't reach this kind of consensus in this area that quickly. Like, this was quick. I was like, okay, I get the message. And like, I sent it to, I can't remember. I showed this to somebody on the Wayfarer team. They're like, yeah, no, that's I think they used the same word that you used, was infrastructure. And I was like, cool, never doing that again. But like, as an experiment, I thought it was funny, right? Or not funny, but like, I wanted to see if I could get it through, right?
Yes.
But it's like a bike path on the road. And like, no, right? So like, I get it. There's no, by the thumbs up, thumb down, it meets everything there. So Cindy has been the champion for getting the Wayfarer team to answer this question, and I think I have a solution.
Okay, let's hear it.
If they don't come up with a solution on their own, I might pass it off to them. I think the perfect solution to this is not only to separate the two, permanent and distinct, right? So you can reject this as not distinct, but you add this line to the tooltip for distinct. The object or location is generic, mass-produced, or otherwise not unique. Generic, mass-produced, covers both of them.
Yeah.
You can say, that's mass-produced, reject it. Done. Simple.
I like that.
All right? And then you can't have people be like, oh, well, the tooltip. Read the tooltip. It's changed. Mic drop. Right? So I think that's the easiest solution to this, is to separate the two and add that little blurb about distinct into the distinct one. And then you're done. Right? So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I can't disagree with that.
It's got a lot of votes.
I can't disagree with that at all. Yep. All right. So the next one is, are there any plans to bring removal criteria to match acceptance criteria? And this one is from a frequent frequent poster on the forum, Slim Boy Fat 71. Most posts on the forum show that does not meet current criteria is not acceptable for removals. Are there any plans to bring this in line? Many does not meet current criteria waypoints are preventing better waypoints from appearing on the map. So I think we've talked about this one before, and mainly it's been me. So what's that Taylor Swift song? It's me, I'm the problem. It's me.
The problem, it's me, yes.
Yeah, I'm the problem. It's me. So it's me. Blame me. That's why my name is Blame Jamal. Because I have learned and figured out the fine line of if I can get it on the map, it'll stay on the map. Because while some people might not think it meets acceptance criteria, it got accepted, but it doesn't meet removal criteria. Now, given that point, Chris, and I know you're the clean the map guy, I would be in line for an overall change in criteria to say let's all back away, take a step back, and look at this through some common sense eyeballs, right? Common sense.
Yeah.
If something doesn't deserve to be approved, then it deserves to be removed at the same frequency.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Even if that would hurt me personally, I think that's good for the map, and it's good for the overall population of Wayfarers, because then we don't have to say, well, don't look at what's currently in the game because that was approved during a time when that was okay. And new people are always confused. They're like, I see this on the map, but you say don't do, and it just doesn't make sense, you know? Slim Boy Fat Boy Slim 71. Anyhow, they said it's preventing better way spots from appearing on the map. I push back on that because that's subjective. If I nominate something, I think mine is better. And if you nominate something in the same cell, you're going to think yours is better. So that's clearly in the eye of the beholder.
Yeah.
Because you might say, hey, this solid gold statue is the thing that should be nominated in here. But if my Boy Scout troop built the little statue that's next to it, I'm going to have affinity for that. And I think that's better than a solid gold statue. So I push back on that because who's to say who should really have the say over what gets on the map, unless it's like something really ugly and then the mural. But if you had something to do with something that's really ugly, you might think that that's better. So I get what they are saying, but I push back on that. But that doesn't take away from the overall acceptance and removal criteria should be more in line, more 50-50.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I understand that there's certain things that are on the map. They're just like, oh, it's not hurting anybody. We can have a discussion on that, right? Like but there's certain things that just need to go, right? Like if it's blatantly not eligible now, it should go, right? And like if someone manages to get a Costco through, like I should be able to go to the Wayfarer team and be like, dude, it's a Costco.
Shots fired there for that Costco. Now I know what you're talking about too.
Like it's a Costco.
Shots fired.
Like it's
right.
Blatantly ineligible. Because what's happening is your new Wayfarers are going to be like, hey, Bob got a Costco through. I'm going to go and nominate all of the Costcos.
Yeah.
It kind of hurts the system, right? And I get that the amount of that happening is probably pretty low at this point. But if we're going to be lowering...
But we still have the Starbucks paradox.
Yeah.
We have the Starbucks paradox.
Yeah.
So that does exist. And the almighty dollar trumps it all. Because if someone is going to pay to have their chain on there, they're going to put the chain on there. Look at McDonald's. Remember, okay, so that was when Charlotte took a lead. Remember when, I think it was Testo started that thread with all of the way spots that should not be on the map, and like the very first one was the McDonald's right down the street from my house, and I'm like, ooh, that felt kind of personal. Even though I didn't nominate it, I had nothing to do with it. I'm like, I drive by that McDonald's like 3 times a week, and I actually do know who nominated it. Anyhow, getting off subject, but like that Charlotte McDonald's was like headline on that thread, and then the funny thing is, it's back in the game now because it's sponsored. So all that work was done to get it off the map, and it's back, and it's a gym because they paid for it.
But it's not on the Wayspot map, right? So that
No.
McDonald's won't appear in Pikmin.
Oh, that's right.
Or Monster Hunter.
That's true.
Right?
That's true.
So,
that's right. Yes, that's true. That's true.
Small victory.
Because it did that was before the split, and it does not
Right.
show up on the IITC
It
map
won't be
because it's
Ingress,
sponsored. Yes.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, like, I get it. I just wish that there was a way to visually identify things that are like, okay, that's not necessarily eligible now. We're not going to remove it. Maybe we've put an orange thing on it, like the pink sponsor thing. Like, this is legacy. Like, you see this, it's outside of Wayfarer, right?
Grandfather stops.
Grandfathered stops, right? This point forward, if it's not eligible and you report it, we're gonna yeet it. But
yeah,
if you report it and it's not eligible and it's grandfathered, it's staying there and it's marked as orange as to red or something. I don't know. It's a way to visually identify things that they're not gonna remove, but we shouldn't be submitting. Just because that's my big problem is that we're influencing the next generation of Wayfarers who are coming up, who all of a sudden miraculously got level 37 yesterday because of the level increase or whatever. And, next one, Aquabus 64. Can we get more rewards for reviewing besides upgrades? And this is a conversation that we have had personally with Tibbs and Tintino and some of the Wayfarer team. I think both years that we had our sit downs with them. Right. And Tibbs is with Ingress now, so he's not part of the Scopely Niantic Wayfarer team. But like, this topic's come up previously in AMAs. We were previously told at various points that the team is exploring additional rewards / incentives for players to review. Currently, upgrades are the only reward we get for reviewing. Given in recent years, nominations get decisions at a much faster pace. We have auto-accepting nominations within 24 hours of submissions to edits. For nearly 7 or 8 months, there's no point in upgrading nominations. There really isn't. Like, I have... How many do I have now? Let me look. 160.
You've got a lot, sir. I was going to say you've got a lot.
And, like, I went to that new park that's been open for a month and a half and nominated a whole bunch of stuff in there because nobody had done it yet. And I was just like standing inside of this massive park and I got like 6 different things. And I'm like, how is nobody, like, hardly anybody's doing Wayfarer in my area now, but like the reviewing, I get enough stuff through, like it goes through quick. So like, I don't have to upgrade anything. Like, I wasn't worried about someone going in behind me and nominating all this stuff after me. It's like, I bring this up again, and I've had this idea a few times. I want a Wayfarer battle pass. Right? We have the Go Pass in Pokemon Go now. I'm pretty sure Monster Hunter now has some sort of pass thing that you get rewards for the more you play the game. I think the more that you participate in Wayfarer, the more edits you do, the more nominations you do, the more reviews you do, you should be getting rewards for whatever game that you play. That's just my 2 cents on this. Right? And I think that's the easiest way.
A hard time disagreeing with that.
I think it's the easiest way to encourage people, especially if you say for every 100 reviews, you'll get like 10 revives or whatever, right? And if you hit 10,000 reviews, or maybe 10,000 is too much, like 1,000 reviews in a month, you get a remote raid pass.
Yeah.
Right? Just throw remote raid passes at people. People will do reviews.
Yes, they will. Yes, they will. All right. So for the next one, I see what you did here, Chris. I see why you saved this one for me. So as I said before, this is one that it's like it got in and it's not going anywhere. So if you listen to even 1 or 2 episodes of the podcast, you know I'm all about neighborhood signs. So the question is, are neighborhood / estate signs eligible? And this comes from friend of the show, Aquabas 64. Since the fall of 2023, when the Wayfarer UI was overhauled, neighborhood/estate signs have become a popular nomination that I have seen while reviewing. They are not directly mentioned in the current criteria, so true clarification on this type of nomination would be helpful. And I think Cindy Poo, to bring her back up again, has talked about this, for a while. She doesn't personally like them, but she just wants a clear black or white thumbs up or thumbs down on whether or not we should be voting for them. I think a lot of people skip these. I'm a big fan. I'm not going to run from it. If you come to Charlotte, you are going to see Charlotte has lots and lots and lots of neighborhood signs, because we love our neighborhood signs in Charlotte, North Carolina, and the local population tends to vote favorably for them. And I know some people don't like that, but, again, for me, I love the gray area. I'd love to continue to have these in the game. But I think for people, most of the world, this is a worldwide game. I would not be opposed to having this, and quite honestly, Chris, a few other things with a straight down yes or no. I think it would make reviewing a lot easier. But before I turn it over to you, I will say this. There are neighborhood signs fall in various gradients of black, white, and gray. There are some that are extremely intricate. They've got waterfalls and pinwheels, and it looks like something off of a mini golf course. And there's some that just say like Shady Acres. So I would like a thumbs up or thumbs down, but I think what I really like about Wayfarer is that you are able to use your own common sense. And if something fits the bill, much like the post boxes in the UK, you can vote for them where they wouldn't be eligible anywhere else in the world. Some parts of the world that goes, and I like that.
Yes. I mean, we've had Wayspotter of the Weeks that were neighborhood signs because they were detailed and intricate and had history.
Exactly.
We've had Coals of the Week that were neighborhood signs because they were like temporary. Like there's a lot of nuance there, but I think it would behoove the Wayfarer team to just come out, put their foot down, and say, listen, if it's cultural or significant, they can be eligible. Otherwise, they're not. Or sure, they're eligible.
Shopping plazas.
Right. Yeah, exactly. They came out a few years ago, and they're like, oh, yeah, remember malls? Yeah, they're eligible now because they're great places to be social.
Yeah.
And people were like, well, duh. We've been saying that for years, right?
Yep.
Not to try and tell you what to do with your own map here, but I just think that this is one of those things that it's gotten to a point, it's reaching critical mass. They need to come out and put something in the criteria clarification once and for all that we can all look at it and go, cool. The Lord has spoken. I shall obey. You know what I mean? Like it's...
And until then, I got a few more that I got to nominate.
Yeah,
I got a few more I got to nominate first.
It's the old smoke them while you got them, right? Like, or smoke them if you got them. So get them in while you can. Before Niantic.
I did that a few years ago with the pools. I smoked them while I had them with the pools.
Yeah, they don't fly here unless it's like really intricately designed. They don't fly here. They get rejected, and I see the same ones over and over again because people just keep trying and trying and trying. They're Jamaling it up, right? And it's just like, I'm gonna keep throwing it at the wall, and one of these days it'll stick, and then it never does.
Chris is not gonna be reviewing on Tuesday. He's gonna be at lacrosse, so I'm gonna nominate it on Monday and upgrade it, and it'll get by Chris.
Yeah. Like there's a plaque on school grounds that I had removed because it was on the grounds of an elementary school, right?
I remember that.
I've seen it in my reviews twice now. So I think they've given up for now, but I'm 100% positive they're going to try again at some point. Probably because it's across the street from their house and that was their spinner. And I feel bad, but it's on school.
It is what it is. I've got one of those, a little free library that has gotten rejected for PRP, and it's not PRP, but there's no angle I can take the picture that doesn't show the house.
Right.
In the background, unless I get like super skinny on it. but then people think you're hiding something, but it's not PRP, but there's no angle you can look at that it doesn't look like PRP,
Right.
but it's not PRP. So,
That's one of those
I
unfortunate
took a
ones,
break
yeah.
from it. Yeah, I took a break from it for 6 months, and I just recently nominated it again because I don't want to get like a 30-day flag for spam. But like, I'm like, all right, let me just. So I just pumped the brakes. So I nominated it again. So we'll see what happens with it.
Good luck to you, sir. Last one. This is from Ambassador alum Genji. What can we expect for published guidelines updating to reflect edits dealing with real world changes? This is essentially concrete guidelines for editing versus remove replace. Right? And I think this is Benji's right. So OPR launched to the Ingress public 8 years ago. Wayfarer launched to the Pogo community 6 years ago. 6 years, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
For many, contributing to Wayfarer has shifted away from discovering new candidates to spending equal time or more time cleaning up the map, which is essentially how I Wayfarer now. It's just cleaning up the map, right?
Yeah.
I get so excited if I find something new. Like, ooh. What can we expect for criteria guidance to clearly detail how and when it's appropriate to edit wayspots as these real-life changes take place? Should our understanding of how these changes impact gaming maps and gameplay affect how we report and repurpose? When will the review flow finally be caught up with the maturity of the Wayfarer program to handle such edits? And this is a really good question because, and we've talked about this before.
It's a very detailed question.
Right? Like if that restaurant is a gym, right? And it's a raid hour gym. People use it as part of their raid hour route. Or like it's a statue in a park and it's a gym, right? And that restaurant changes owners. And now it's a Mexican place as opposed to a burger joint. Niantic's like, oh, we'll remove it and then replace it with the Mexican joint. Okay, cool. Now that gym's somewhere else. Right?
Yep, exactly.
Now that gym
exactly
might be that little free library in front of Bob's house. And not to pick on Bob, but like maybe Bob doesn't want 20 people in front of his house or 25 people in front of his house every Wednesday doing raids. Right? Maybe that's on the other, because these cells for gyms are huge. Maybe it's nowhere near where the radar route is, and now that community's lost the gym, right? So they're less inclined to edit that, less inclined to clean up that waste spot like they should. Whereas Niantic's like, no, it's a completely different restaurant. Like, what if they move that statue? Right? They take it down. Maybe they put up a flagpole with a sign, or maybe now it's a fountain. Right? So you remove the statue, you nominate the fountain. Now that gym's somewhere else. Right? So now
there's a gym. Yeah, there's a gym a couple towns over from where I live, where I've been before, and there's a couple of gyms that are in close proximity that the thing is not there anymore. And they've all agreed as a community not to report it,
right?
Because they understand that if that gets reported, those gyms are going to get split up, and they're not going to have their two gyms there anymore. So and I'm not going to say what town it is because I'm not going to do that. Clearly. But they know that those two things have been removed. And I've even given them counsel that you can replace it in this cell with this thing here that's in the same cell, and that cell you could replace it with that. And they were like, oh, sweet. So let's replace it. We'll get those removed, and the gyms will be there. I'm like, no. Once they remove that gym, it's going somewhere else. Yeah. So you'll have two Pokéstops there, but you won't have the two gyms there. So they've all just kind of agreed that they're not going to report it. I suggested to them that they get something else in the cell,
just in case,
that's not within 20 meters of it, that if someone does report it, they'll still have something there. But because of the way the current rules are constituted, if they report that to keep the map clean, it's going to hurt them. I don't think by doing the right thing, you should injure yourself. And I think personally, that's why, and I've told this, Chris, I don't remove a lot of stuff because by doing the right thing, it hurts me. There is a golf course, a driving range, not too far from my house that they're demolishing, and there was a POI at the, you know, for the sign of the golf range. And they tore it down, and they're putting up a neighborhood. So I am not going to remove that until they put something else there. It's not a gym, it's just a POI, but I hit it on my way home. So I'm like, why do I want to take away a spinner for myself when I can just wait until something else goes there? So you have people out in the field making business decisions. You know,
Yeah.
they're making a business decision.
Yeah. And like I've said this 100 times, and I'll probably say it 1,000 more times. Wayfarer doesn't care about the Pogo map. Wayfarer doesn't care about the Monster Hunter. But here's the thing: Wayfarer don't care about the Pogo map, but the people who play on the Pogo map care about the Pogo map. And the Wayfarer map only gets edited by people who play on the Pogo map. So you're shooting yourself in the foot despite your face. And there really needs to be a way to say, listen, understand that for restaurants, I think for me, it's super easy, right? Like, just take the entry in the database, let me edit it and get rid of the tags. And let me find new tags. Like, I'm sure, because we talked to Tibbs about this, and he's like, yeah, it's not that easy. And I believe him, and I get it, right? But
I get it. Yeah.
The end of the day, we should be able to, even if you completely wipe out that entry from the database and you replace it with a new one, if that process happens quick enough. So like if you say, hey, nominate this thing in that cell, get it on the map, get it on the game board. That's step one, right?
Yes.
It's on the game board.
Yes.
It's there. Now remove the other one. And if that thing that gets removed is a gym, it just takes that gym and puts it on the other stop that's going to appear in that cell, right? Provided it's already there.
That's genius. Now, I don't know how easy or hard that is, but that's genius. That would inspire me to go out and replace things that are gyms.
Yeah.
I would go and nominate something else there. That's genius. Now, I don't know if they can. I'm sure they can do that. I mean, they own the data, they own the map, they can do whatever they want. But whether they're willing, whether they have the willingness to do that worldwide is something completely different.
Yeah, like even if you were to say, "Hey, I want to replace this waste spot that's a gym in Pokemon Go. I'm gonna submit the remove replace request as one entity, and it just goes into Niantic review." Right? And then in the background, they can kind of pull out the one, put in the other one, go onto the Pogo map and manipulate it to a gym, because I know they can do that. I know they can do that.
Yes.
Okay? I'm not going to say how I know that, but I know they can do that. It would encourage people when we go back to the rewards thing, right? And like, people aren't going to do this because why would they ruin their gaming experience for your map? You know what I mean? Right? Like, it's just a way to say, hey, Niantic, I need to do this, and I want you to work with me through the help chat or through like a special submission, whatever, and say, here's my evidence that's gone, here's the new stuff, just take this one out, put that one in, and then when people wake up in the morning, sure, the gym's moved 15 feet or whatever, or maybe it's, in this case of a restaurant, it didn't even move anywhere. It's just got a new picture, a new title, and a new description, right? And half the people probably wouldn't even notice.
Right.
Yep. And like somebody pointed out,
so you're gonna have the game agnostic people, the true wayfarers that are gonna say, like you said, I don't care about this. But majority of the people now that Ingress is split off, majority of the people now are Pogo players, and they like you said, they very much care about the map. There's only so many Professor Glaws out there who are like, I see no color, I see no game, I see a map, and I see a POI, and I don't really care what it feeds into. There's only so many of you guys out there. You're now outnumbered by the people that say, I want this gym here because it fits nicely in the world with all these other gyms. I don't care about your Wayfarer map. There's more people that don't care about the Wayfarer map than people that do. because they want their gym. They're a Pokemon Go player. They didn't start playing Pokemon Go to do Wayfarer. We knowingly and voluntarily jumped into this Wayfarer thing because we care about the map, but we're now the guests in our own house, right?
Yep.
The visitors have taken over the house and we're now the guests. So they are kind of driving it, but we're holding on to our rules, not like a gatekeeper, but we want to keep some sanity in the map. But at the same time, we're asking people who fervently play this game to remove things off of it and make it harder for them to do the thing that they want to do. If you put that in any other context, it doesn't make sense, right? I'm going to have you remove a gas station from your neighborhood because it doesn't fit a rule, but now you got to drive twice as far to get gas in your car. I don't know if that's a good analogy, but you kind of get where I'm going.
Yep.
So, yeah, I don't know. It's interesting, man. It's something, and I think this is a great question. I can't wait to see how they answer it.
I am very much a clean the map guy, and like I've had my share of things removed, right? But there are certain lines that even I don't cross. Like, I've gone into rural communities and been like, that's a gym. That statue is clearly not there anymore. But like, there's no other gym anywhere near. Yeah. I'm leaving it. I'm not touching it.
Yeah.
And I'm walking away.
Yeah.
Because I will probably never be into that community again, and who am I to be messing up their gaming experience? And I know people play there because there was Pokemon in the gym and they hadn't been there very long, right? So,
right.
But like, there was something else in that cell that could have been the gym, right? And like, had I removed it, the gym would have gone to something else in that park, and it wouldn't have been that big a deal. Yeah. But like, I don't know how people attach. Like, I didn't know. Like, I don't want to be that guy. So I'm often not that guy. Right. Unless you make me mad, and then I am that guy. Like the cheaters in my area found out. I can be that guy.
Right.
I don't want to be that guy.
Well, I mean, if you're combating cheating, that's something completely different. So, I mean, I'm the guy that, I have proudly said, let sleeping dogs lie. Mm-hmm. But if it's K-12, fire stations are cheating.
Yes.
That's not a sleeping dog. That's a barking dog.
That's a barking dog. Yeah. And like this cheater I took down that voting ring, I only did it because his voting ring rejected a couple of my things, and then they went and nominated it themselves. And I got angry.
They snaked you.
I was a little bit bitter, and I'm like, why would you reject this just to go? I'm like, you little bastard. So I went and took down his little home stop and his home gym, and I got him suspended, and I got his friend suspended, and yeah, it was good times.
Yeah, good times. Good times.
That's not what we're here to talk about. Actually, I think we're done. No. We were gonna talk about, unless you've got something else to talk about for that. You got anything else on that? I should probably ask you before we move on.
No, I think we've talked. Yeah, we've talked that to death, so I think I'm good there.
And like, we're at an hour and 8 minutes now. I was gonna talk about the whole street signs project. I think we'll punt that to maybe next week or the week after. Okay. I wrote in the notes, no notes, just vibes. So I really didn't have anything planned there.
And I think we're vibing right now. So maybe we'll talk about it. I didn't have a whole lot of ideas for next week yet. So maybe we'll talk about street signs next week, and we'll see what happens through the AMA. Maybe we'll do that. So that's your tease for next week. We might talk about street signs. We might not talk about street signs.
We will talk about the street signs at some point, though. So if we don't talk about it next week, we will definitely talk about it the week after. So let's take a break, play some dad jokes, and then we'll come back on the other side with Waystspot of the Week and Coal of the Week.
Hey, this is Rolly Wambo alumni, and you're listening to the Wayspotters podcast.
This is Ashley the Artist from YouTube, and you're listening to the Wayspotters podcast.
Hello, this is Kermit the Frog, and you're listening to the Wayspotters podcast.
You're joking. It's season 4. Enough already.
I told my phone that I lost my job. It won't stop sending me Indeed notifications. So I used to date a calendar, but it had too many issues. My wife asked me, why do I carry a hammer everywhere? I told her it was in case I needed to nail it in a conversation. She wasn't impressed. It's still building momentum. I bought a thesaurus yesterday. It was terrible. Terrible. Awful. Horrible. I'm reading a book about anti-gravity right now. It is impossible to put down. My GPS told me to make a U-turn. I said, no, you make a U-turn. And now it's been giving me the silent treatment for the last 3 miles. I told my kids that I invented a pencil with 2 erasers. They said, Dad, that's pointless.
Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the dad jokes this week. We are going to jump straight into Wayspot of the week.
This is Sarah Amanda, and here are some Wayspotters approved points of interest.
Wayspot of the week number 1. Let me pull it up. This looks familiar, so if we've done this one already, then please somebody call me out.
This is a cool one, though. I like this one.
This is from Tom Wee in the Wayfarer discussion Discord. This is Surprised Stone Lion, and it is pretty much exactly what it says. It looks like it's kind of above a door, and it looks like it's made of marble. It's a large stone lion. Okay, here we go. A large stone lion head above the entrance gate, and it looks very surprised. Its eyes are wide.
It does.
And it's carved into marble into the wall, and it looks like it's got like 2 bouquets of flowers flying out of the sides of its mouth. It just looks super, super cool.
It's one of those things that if you saw this might be the last thing you ever saw, but it's one of those.
Yeah, it's in London, so I can imagine that it's probably been there a very long time.
Right.
Some of the architecture in London is quite old, but I just thought this one was really, really cool. It's at Goldsmiths Hall in Foster Lane, London. I just thought that was really, really cool. It's just the way that it's carved. It's so intricate and detailed, and then there's kind of like a design behind it, like that stuff that goes on the wall when the wall meets the ceilings. I can't think of the word. The wood.
What you're talking about.
I don't know. Everyone knows what I'm talking about, but I can't think of the word. And there's probably like a dozen people screaming it at their radio or phone. Going, it's called this.
That.
Yeah. Anyway, you want to take the next one?
I will take the next one.
This is Sarah Amanda, and here are some Wayspotters approved points of interest.
So Wayspot of the week number 2 comes to us from friend of the show, Darker Solstice in the Wayfarer discussion Discord. This one is, and I'll read it, painted by Ryan Tova-Katz. This beautiful mural is an allusion to Chicago's motto, Herbs in Horto, a Latin phrase translating to city in a garden in English. The imagery is also a prime example of why Chicago was, in 2025, labeled by a prominent reality TV star as the worst and most dangerous city in the world by far. The flower bed serves as a perfect camouflage for ICE agents as they pounce on passerbys' attempts to sneak sweet green bowls over dangerous Wrigleyfield Lakeview East border. All right, there's a whole lot of stuff to unpack there. But I think what's notable about this, Chris, and we haven't really talked about it, we might be in Chicago in June. If everything that we're reading, if the tea leaves are correct, there's a whole lot of people listening and watching this podcast right now that we might be locking arms with in Chicago June 5th, 6th, and 7th. Yep. And that's all I'll say, because that's all I'll say. But this mural is the skyline of Chicago. You can see the Willis Tower there in the forefront, the Sears Tower for old school people, but the Willis Tower. It is on a brick building painted white. And as an aside, Chris, I have a problem when people paint over brick. I don't know why. I don't like it. But anyhow, they painted over the brick. and it's white background, and then, like I said, is these wild flowers, probably native to this part of Illinois. And the buildings are in blue, and some of the buildings are in pink, and it's kind of going from the top right to the bottom left, kind of sloping down, and these flowers are kind of coming out of the ground, and then you can see the artist tag on the bottom right. But it's really cool. I like it. We try to stay out of politics, so I won't editorialize if it's a camouflage for ICE agents. I don't know. I haven't been to Chicago last time I was in Chicago was 1996? 1997? No. Wait, what year did I get married? 2005 was the last time I was in Chicago because it was 2 years before I got married. So it's been a long time. I don't know. But you and I may be in Chicago in about 8 or 9 months. So Chicago, watch out.
Watch out, Chicago. I was in Chicago for GoFest 2019 when they kicked us out of the park during the storms. And I got a free at-home GoFest day as a makeup. It was great. But yeah, this is a great mural. We love our murals, and I have less of an issue with brick painted on murals than you do. I think they can look good. This one looks really, really good, but for me it all depends on the type of brick that they're painting on, right? Because there's certain types of brick that just don't look good, right? But I think this one was done well.
Maybe it's the Southerner in me, although I'm not a Southerner, but I live in the South. There's a lot of red clay mud back here, so a lot of things are made out of brick, and it just looks so good and distinctive, and it's distinctively southeastern United States to see this specific kind of Carolina brick, and when you paint over it, I'm like, oh.
Right. Yeah, see, up in the north, like especially where I am, like all bricks look the same. Like, there's no distinction between the bricks. They're just bricks, right? So I think that's probably the distinction between the two.
I gotcha. That's fair.
I don't like the bricks we have. You do. So that's the difference.
You're like, paint them all. Paint them all.
Yeah.
I've been working on the Wayfarer all the live long day. I've been working on the Wayfarer just to pass the... Uh-oh. Oh, no. Hey, Jamal. I found some coal.
All right, let's jump into coal of the week. This week comes from Tom Wee and the Pokemon Professor Network Discord. And this is... it's a plaque at the base of a tree. And the title is Roberta Bobby Rouge Memorial Plaque. And the plaque says, in loving memory of Roberta Bobby Rouge, which, like, I don't know if this person is distinctive or was a member of their community. They were a teacher. They were a police. I don't know. Maybe, hold on, Chris. Maybe you don't know. Maybe the person who submitted this gave you more information. Oh, no, they didn't. The description is, the plaque reads, in loving memory of Roberta Bobby Rouge. That's it. There's nothing. Like, you couldn't, they just was like, it's a plaque. This is what the plaque says.
Yeah.
Pokestop? Like, this is what I like to call Deadpool's younger brother, minimal effort. If you know, you know.
That's a good way to describe it. If you know, you know. If you know, you know.
This is just, I shared the wrong thing. There we go.
Oh,
that's
good.
A better picture. I shared the show notes. Yeah. I do that so many. I do that so often.
Here's the thing. The YouTube viewers will never know the difference because that won't be what they see. They'll see this.
This is
so
true.
It's all good.
This is true.
That's the magic of the podcast. That's the magic of the podcast. They will never know. If we ever make a mistake, you guys will never know because we can cut it and we can redo it and you'll never see it.
You'll never. The amount of stuff that ends up on the cutting room floor for us is wild. People are just like, why don't you live stream? Oh, dude, you don't want to see that.
You know what? If people were willing to pay like $5 a month and it would be the private live stream, maybe we'd do it.
Yeah.
But,
yeah,
you know,
we
could be convinced. I can't be bought.
Yeah.
I can't be bought, but I can be rented.
Yes. That's actually, we'll take this offline, but maybe that is something we start offering our Patreon.
Yeah. Yeah. And if enough people want to do it, we'll do it live.
Yeah. I mean, we could not necessarily do the show live, but we could kind of do a hangout once a week while we
can have people in the green room watching.
Yeah.
and they can chat.
I'm sure people would like that. Let us, if you want to see that, let us know. We'll workshop something.
Yes, we'll figure out a way to make that happen.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and sign us off and get people back to their Sundays or Mondays or whatever day they're listening to this to. Thank you for listening to us on this episode of Wayspotters. We really, really appreciate it. A big thank you goes out to our executive producer, KatettheKonz, and our show historian, Maddie G, and to all of our Patreons. We couldn't do this without you. Thank you so, so much. Now, if you enjoyed this episode of Wayspotters, there are a few ways that you can show us. We are on Twitter at Wayspotters. We are also on Instagram at Wayspotters Podcast and on TikTok at I Make Wayspots. We are incredibly responsive and love interacting with our followers. Let us know what you thought about today's episode. You can also visit our website, www.wayspotters.com. From there, you can get links to everywhere you can download the show. You can also send us a message directly from the website or email us, wayspotters@pokemonprofessor.com. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified whenever we post a new video. We are posting shorts again on YouTube, so be sure to check that out. We had 4, I think, go up last week. It's great stuff. YouTube.com/@Wayspotters-podcast. Leave us a voicemail on our hotline, 704-426-3710, or tweet us a voice message. You never know, your voicemail may appear on an upcoming episode of the show. Finally, if you are not a member of the Pokemon Professor Network Patreon, you can join for as little as $1 US a month. All you need to do is go to patreon.com/PokemonProfessor. You'll have access to the Discord for the entire family of shows across the Pokemon Professor Network, including Wayspotters, Special Conditions, Gotta Watch 'Em All, Purified Podcast, Good Morning Johto, Sleep It Off, After Darkrai, and Lured Up. It is a fantastic place filled with fantastic people. Jamal and I are active in the Discord quite a bit, so come and hang out. We would love to have you. And with that, we look forward to you joining us again next week here on Wayspotters. We appreciate all of the support we get each week. Keep the comments coming. Keep the likes coming. Keep the views and the listens coming. We love it. We really appreciate all you guys. And hopefully we get to see some of you in Chicago when we're maybe there, maybe not there, sometime in June, maybe not June. Remember, it is not that far. Get out of your car.